We get a report from an NHL insider that teams are pursuing a Vancouver Canucks player, and this is insane to witness as we watch Quinn Hughes continuing to make Vancouver Canucks history. We're going to break all this down and more later on this episode. Before we start, I just want to give a huge shout out and say that this video is brought to you by Rentals.ca, who is a huge supporter of Team Canada. While they've been supporting our national team defend their home ice in international competition, they've also been helping thousands of Canadians find their home rink all across the country. Whether in cities like Abbotsford, Vancouver, Halifax, or St. John's, from coast to coast, Rentals.ca has a ton of options to find the perfect place and price for you. The website is super clean and easy to use, and you can pinpoint exactly on the map where you want to move, finding all options in your area. Find your home rink with Rentals.ca and check out their website in the pinned comment or in the description below. Once again, shout out to Rentals.ca for not only being a huge supporter of Team Canada, of this channel, but also you guys helping you find your next home. Check out Rentals.ca, and like I said, it will be all in the pinned comment or description below. But with that, let's just hop straight into the first topic today, which is the fact there is Hoglander trade rumors flying all over the league. Now, we want to start off by looking at Donnie and Dolly, where they spoke on Hoglander and his agent wanting to fix, and the Canucks agree, fixing on both sides with the Hoglander issue. Now, this led into a tweet from Kevin Weeks, NHL insider, coming out and saying a name generating interest in the market is Canucks forward Hoglander. He's 24 years old, $3 million cap hit, and skilled. I'm told the Washington Capitals, the Pittsburgh Penguins, and the Columbus Blue Jackets are looking at the possibility and have explored the possibility. Now, looking at Hoglander, looking at these three teams, the Capitals are a contender. The Penguins are stuck in purgatory at the moment where they can't compete and they can't really rebuild. And the Columbus Blue Jackets are looking to add more young pieces. Looking at Hoglander, looking at three of these teams, looking at where the Canucks are right now, things are going to get interesting with this, and we're going to break down exactly why. Now, looking at Hoglander, he has had a bit of a disappointing year with the Canucks this year in 22 games, 2 goals, 3 assists for 5 points, 16 penalty minutes. He's a -3. Coming into after last year, I should say, 24 points, 12 goals, and 36 assists. Hoglander looked like he took a big next step in his development, but it has kind of slid back a bit. When we're looking at the last 5 games played, you can look at the games against the New York Rangers, a -1, playing just over 10 minutes. His ice time drops against the Ottawa Senators, 8 minutes and 38 seconds. 7:40 against the Boston Bruins, 9:14 against the Pittsburgh Penguins, and then this drops once again against the Buffalo Sabres, where the Canucks won in overtime just a day or two ago, depending on when you're watching this, putting up 6 minutes and 28 seconds time on ice. Now, looking at this, he did not record a single point over the stretch of games, but looking at how Hoglander has been playing, looking at the needs for this Canucks team, it does seem like the possibility that teams are reaching out, that the Canucks want to work on a side, or trade, I should say, to move on from a guy like Hoglander may be happening faster than we expected. Now, looking at this, as I said, his ice time has dropped. With Hoglander, his stats have dropped. This has resulted in him dropping in this lineup. We're seeing him on the third line. This is the lines per Puckpedia. This does change as games go. This might be the lineup as they ended last game. But looking at Hoglander, we're seeing him playing with a guy like Ratu. We're seeing him play with Boeser. But once this team starts getting healthy, him finding this ice time is going to be hard. Right now, JT Miller getting back in this lineup. He will be playing with Brock. We might see Suter slide back on the left side, which does result in Hoglander dropping to the fourth line. Sassons will go back to the AHL. Bluger will most likely play between Garland and Joshua, as we've seen that work last year. But looking at this ice time, looking at what the Canucks have, it seems like Hoglander is losing a lot of trust and a lot of time on ice with this Canucks team. Now, I do want to put it out there, as I brought up JT Miller just then. Yesterday's video was not to say JT Miller should be traded, not saying that trade interest is happening because of everything that's happening off the court. But looking at this Canucks team and with JT Miller, teams are going to call. As I said, we're not trying to spread any misinformation on them. It's just reporting on what we're hearing, like we're doing today with Hoglander. Now, looking at Hoglander, as I said, once his team gets healthy, there's a high chance that he slides back to this fourth line. And with the Canucks needs of a defenseman, with this Canucks needs on filling out some healthy spots, this might be at center, this might be on right D with Hronek out. Hoglander seems like an option, and I don't want to trade Huggy. I think he fits on this team. I think he needs to get his just motor back. I think he has been playing well, even though he has not got on the score sheet. He still throws hits. He still hounds the puck. But it does seem like Tocchet is losing a lot of trust in him. And this might result in the Canucks having to move on from him. And I do think this is going to bite them in the butt, to save lack of better words with it, as I do think he has a lot of potential in the NHL, as we've seen last year, where he scored 24 goals. But looking at this, what's your guys' overall thoughts on Hoglander's rumors? What's your thoughts on teams like the Washington Capitals, the Pittsburgh Penguins, and the Columbus Blue Jackets reaching out? Do you think this might be in a trade? Maybe the Pens want to move on from a guy like Elias Pettersson, and the Canucks want to include someone like Hoglander. Maybe this is a Euro trade from the Columbus Blue Jackets. There's a lot of rumors going around, but what's your guys' thoughts, and what would be your ideal trade offer to get a defenseman in if this does include Hoglander? Let me know down in the comments. But with that, let's just hop straight into the second topic today, which is the fact, sorry about that, Quinn Hughes continues to make history. Now we're looking at Quinn Hughes, the best defenseman in the NHL, and listen, I will say it, and I'm not afraid to say it, he is better than Cale Makar. Yes, Makar might put up a few more flashy stats, but Quinn Hughes is the best defenseman, hence why he won the Norris last year. But looking at this, Quinn Hughes ties Alex Edler for the Canucks lead in assists all time. We can see he's number one, which is tied for number one in less games. We've seen Edler get this record in 925 games. It only took Quinn Hughes 387 games, 310 assists, and there's a chance where he might get the all-time defenseman leader in points, which will happen this season as well. Quinn Hughes is generational talent. He is the best defenseman in the league. He is the best player on the Vancouver Canucks. This is a generational talent, and we continue to see him making history. Now, Quinn Hughes, over the years, this should not be a surprise, as we've seen him continue to develop to be this top defenseman. We've seen last year 92 points, 17 goals, 75 assists, almost a point per game in the playoffs with 10 points in 13 games. Quinn put this team on his back, and he continues to dominate. It goes into this season in 22 games, 5 goals, 20 assists for 25 points, and he is a +8 last year, a +38. Quinn Hughes is the best defenseman in the NHL. It's not debatable. If anyone comes in here saying otherwise, I'm sorry, but I'm not even debating it at this point. But looking at Quinn, this generational talent, he's going to break so many records for the Canucks, and he's going to go down as an all-time great, as the best defenseman to ever play on this Canucks roster. But it doesn't stop there with records for the season, as we see there's multiple guys pushing to be in the top 10 or push just above the top 10. Elias Pettersson is just 19 points behind Todd Bertuzzi for 9th all-time. JT Miller, once he gets back and healthy, will move into the top 10 by the end of this year. And we see Brock Boeser also pushing to make it to the top 10. We're in a realm where the Canucks have top 10 players playing on the same team. We have the top defenseman. We have multiple top forwards pushing into the top 10 in points. This is a great time to be a Canucks fan. Yes, they're struggling at times. Yes, things get scary sometimes. But the biggest thing is, be happy. We're watching history being made with Quinn Hughes. We have top end talent. The Canucks are going to be okay once they get healthy. What were your guys' thoughts on the Hoglander rumors? What's your thoughts on Quinn Hughes being the top defenseman in the league with no debate being behind it? Because I think everyone's going to agree with me. But if you enjoyed this, make sure to go down and leave a like, subscribe, share this with your friends. Once again, shout out to rentals.ca for helping out with this video. And if you want to check out rentals, make sure to go and check them in the pinned comment or the description below. But I've been your host, Mark. Bye and take care.